let's talk about some of these players. So we've got legendary players here. First of all, Magic coming in, representing Keen. Hopefully we can get a win on the books here for Keen as well, going into the semifinals. But I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts on Magic Soup. Anything you want to say about him before we go into this match?
Yeah, I played a lot with Magic. Of all the people I've played the most with outside of ranked, it's probably Magic. So I know a lot about how he plays, and he's obviously one of the goats, one of the three goats of the game, and yeah, he's just such a good player. Right now, he's not on top of his game because he doesn't get to practice as much as he would want to. But you know, the potential with this fella is unrivaled.
Yeah, I'm almost hoping we get the Magic Grass matchup because it's kind of the vast wealth of knowledge and experience versus, you know, the hands the Grass has, the quick micro that he's able to pull off in the fight. I think that'd be a really fun matchup. But yeah, Magic placing in that third, fourth slot as well at Red Bull Bowl, legendary player. And on the other side, we've got RecoN. Any thoughts there?
RecoN.
What even is there to say about RecoN? He's obviously a top 2 player at finishing. Oh, he got to play in Spain at the Red Bull finals. Very, very, very strong player. And interesting, he's played Loki the most. I wouldn't expect that because he plays every god, and he plays every god well.
Mm-hmm.
Just a menace to play against.
Very good. So now with that analysis from Sup and Matt, we are going to go into the next stage, which is the draft. Both players have decided that they want to do it live on stream, so we are going to drag them into the channel now while we get ready for the draft.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Soup, for joining on. Appreciate you, man.
And before we go into the draft, this is a call out to anybody in the stream on either Keen's side or Ace's side, or anybody who has a personality on the AOM sphere. You are more than welcome to join us for this next broadcast, which is going to be one of the most hype matchups in the quarterfinals. We're more than welcome to, or happy to have you. Just please PM myself, which is the Emperors and or Prince of the Empire in the Lowsmith / Underworld Discord, and we will get you on cast to break down these games. Now, we do have Magic and RecoN joining us for this quarterfinal draft pick. We are going to do a virtual coin toss as we have for the rest of the matches to be able to join in. And Pegasus, yes, you can cast. Please join into the Showdown lobby and I'll drag you in. We'd love to have your perspective on this matchup. Now, RecoN is the higher seeded player in this matchup. So RecoN will elect to choose heads or tails for the coin flip. RecoN.
I'll have heads then.
Heads. We are going to do the flip. And for the fourth time, maybe this coin is bugged. We have heads winning. I think we are going to choose a new coin just in case after this endeavor that we've had. So we are we are going to have
you get the pick.
Choose.
Do you want the
map or guts?
Sorry, what do I pick first?
Yeah, you
can choose if you want maps or gods. What would you prefer priority on?
The gods, I think.
Okay.
Gods? Okay, would you elect for a first pick overall or second and third pick in the snake draft?
First pick.
First pick, all right. Let's jump into it. Who are you taking, RecoN?
There's no ban?
No bans.
There's no bans on gods. No bans on gods. You pick the first god. If you'd like to change up to second, if you didn't know that, we will give you that option, unless you're happy with first pick on gods.
I'll have Odin.
Nice. All right.
Odin's selected for RecoN. Second and third pick to Magic.
I'll take Thor, and I'll take Ra.
Nice. I'm excited to see Ra picked early. We haven't seen a Ra game yet. Maybe we'll get one here. All right, RecoN.
RecoN, your third or second and third picks.
I'll have Loki and Poseidon.
Nice. All right, Magic, back to you.
So I get 2 or 1?
You get 2.
All right, just give me 1 sec.
Yeah, take your time. And we didn't give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves. I know everyone knows you already, so maybe we needed to skip that. But if you want to say
we
anything
can
at the
do that.
start, go for it.
But while you guys are thinking about your picks, Matt, I do want to give a special shout out to Arcantos, who is in the Discord as well as the Twitch stream, who is a massive Magic fan and posted a watch party that he's doing in his place.
Oh, right, yeah.
On big screen TV. So Magic, know you have a super fan behind you
No.
that wants you to win this game.
I hope I don't disappoint him. I probably will.
No, Magic, come on, you're a legend. RecoN, you too, both of you. This is the most hyped matchup. Anyways,
Okay, ready.
back to the draft.
Yeah, I'll go Uranus,
Okay.
and then I'll go Zeus.
All right.
Last 2 picks for RecoN.
Can't leave ISIS open this long. I gotta get ISIS.
There we go. Isis is taken, and your last pick.
Go for Gaia.
All right, Magic, last pick for you.
I'll take Set.
Ooh,
The set pick
set
has
pick
been
too. Love it.
selected in the draft.
All right.
Very good, very good.
And then-
Magic, you do get priority on the map now. But no, we have first a map ban.
Yep, map
before we
bands.
select
So go ahead and
So please
type
message me
those.
your map bans directly to me in a PM. And take your time. There's no pressure or rush.
Can I
you have-
just say it because I don't
Sure,
really
go
care
for
that
it.
much.
That's fine.
I'll just ban Midgard.
Thank you. We've had too much of it.
Midgard is out of the way. We will no longer have Midgard in this map for this series. RecoN, if you would like to, you could also just say it on stream. If you want to ban Midgard as well, you're more than welcome to do that. If you don't want to ban another.
I'll ban Anatolia. Then.
All right. So pretty heavily played maps already out of the pool. So I'll let you guys drop and go get the lobby set up.
Yep. I will move us over. We're going to get this match on the show. Until then, Matt is joined by Pegasus, who has decided to join in for this next cast. So Pegasus and Matt, I leave this to you.
All right. Pegasus, how are we doing?
We are absolutely excited, like everybody in the chat right now, for the GOAT match.
Yeah, this really is the GOAT matchup. It's how the seeding ended up working based on how we did it, but I think it makes for exciting quarterfinals for sure. Do you have any thoughts on the pick order that they had for the gods there?
For the draft, this is as close as a draft can get. Everybody has insane gods. Some people saying my mic is a little low.
Yeah, I got
Maybe
you up.
that's
I turned you up.
Great, wonderful. Look, we have Loki, Poseidon, Gaia, Isis, all S tier. Like, we got Thor, Ra. Arguably, we haven't seen Ra slingers in tournaments before, even though everybody's, crazy about slingers, and they are pretty uncounterable. I'm very excited to see the Ra game. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I really hope it gets picked. We've shouted out the video that Soup put out, but he put out a really great Ra guide and then some gameplay that he's been doing for Ra, and I just like it because Ra has kind of been the underdog for so long, and now I expected to see more of him, so I'm excited we're finally getting him into the draft at least, and maybe we'll get a pick, but I think he's one of the best gods in the game right now.
Arguably, yeah. Some gods just don't have any answer to slingers, but on the other hand, you pick Ra, everybody knows you're gonna go slingers. So maybe Magic just, decides to go best and do something with myth units instead.
Yeah, we'll have to see and find out. Only one way to find out. Let's go ahead and pull up the graphics for both these players, but everyone knows who they are. We've got Magic coming in with his choices of Thor, Ra, Uranus, Zeus, and Set. And on the other side, we do have RecoN, and he's picked Odin, Loki, Poseidon, Isis, and Gaia. So pretty standard picks. A lot of the top tier champs or top tier gods for each of these players. This should be a fun one.
Look, I personally wanted to cast these matches because I'm playing versus the winner of this match, I think.
You rooting for anyone in particular? And you are playing the winner of this match.
Look, I do not want to play either of these guys. I don't know who to root for. These guys are insane. I practiced with Magic. I unfortunately met RecoN on the ladder a couple of times. That was a bit miserable, as RecoN is, he's a semi-finalist, or rather a finalist, and he's just insane player all around.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Do we have the wrong map? People in the chat are saying we've got the wrong map here. No, Magic's from Canada. Oh, yep. Yeah, we do have the wrong map. Wait, we have the wrong country. Not the wrong map, but yeah, all right, we'll fix up the graphics. We had I want to shout him out again. Viking Music, one of our old friends who does graphic designing. We gave him this a week ago and said, "Could you make us some graphics?" And I think he delivered. So we've got maybe a couple mistakes in him, but I think he delivered on these. All right. And let's go ahead and let's jump back to the draft deck while we're waiting for the lobby to get hosted here. Should be getting in pretty soon. I know we didn't do any sort of post quarterfinal interviews, but how do you think your match against Count went?
To be fair, Count has not had much time to practice, so I do feel a bit bad that I did have time to practice, but that's just how the game goes. He did play surprisingly well, especially with probably maps that he never tried. I'm not sure if he ever tried the hybrid maps like the Keralaugar map. It's a very difficult map to get the hang of, because you got the water and you got the land and you have to find a balance there.
Yeah, I know everyone seemed to really like that map. That was one of the big things when we put out the original map pool. We had a lot of people, I think maybe you included, saying that you hate Highland but you like Kirklagar. Is anything in particular about Highland that you don't like?
I haven't played much of the new Highland because I'm not playing that much ladder. I remember the old, because it's skewed. It's similar to Mediterranean. Some aggressive gods just dominate there because they can just annihilate the water. But on Keralaugar, it's like a macro map. You have to decide how much do I want to invest in land, how much do I want to invest in water, and that adds a lot more thinking into it. While Highland in Mediterranean, for example, is a no-brainer. I want to fight land, I want to fight water, and I want to win water, and there is no in between.
Yeah, you don't really have much of a choice there. That makes sense. Yeah, we were curious about that because a lot of people spoke about how much they didn't like Highland, but I think us picking the same pool as Genesis, that's working out well. Good little primer for each of the players before that tournament.
And one more thing, as a person who both not going water and going water, they're both great. I can't even say there's a good approach. It's just about good gameplay all around.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a matchup selected.
Okay.
Friends.
Let's hear it.
Hold on, actually.
Maybe we don't.
We have the gods. I actually forgot them.
What are the gods? We'll figure out the map when we get into game.
All right. So Magic has selected to play Thor.
Okay.
This matchup. And RecoN is elected to play Isis in this match.
Nice.
The map will be Elfheim.
Okay. Fantastic. First Alfheim of the tournament.
Yeah, first Alfheim of the tournament. They are starting the match now, Matt. We do have contact details or game details, I should say, in the pre-tournament information. We're super excited to have Pegasus join us for this quarterfinal matchup to give us some updates and information and analysis on what he thinks is going to happen. So it's great to have a keen player join us.
It's a pleasure. Does the stream have a delay, by the way?
We will not be having a delay, as both players elected not to have a delay. They both trust one another not to stream snipe, which I think is a testament to the trust of the pros that they have in one another. If any other game event was being hosted by people like us, it's not something they would do. So hats off to both of them, as well as others who have that, faith.
Absolutely. So we got Thor and Isis on Alfheim.
Alfheim, yep. Yeah.
It's a very interesting matchup, because you could also go raw on Alfheim, and that would be very good. So I'm very interested. Who picked this map, by the way?
This was Magic, right? Got the first pick of map because RecoN picked draft order.
That is correct.
And they just messaged me that they started the game, so I'm searching for the lobby.
Okay.
And here it is. You guys ready to go?
Absolutely. Thor on Alfheim. Let's see what Magic has in the bag.
And as a little heads up, we might have Count joining us in the middle of this game's broadcast to put another perspective to the desk. We will move him into the chat. I know it's going to be a 4-person cast if we do that, but that's going to be totally fine because we all know how to work with one another, and this is going to be fun.
Fantastic. Well, spawning into the northeast of the map, we have IamMagic playing as Thor. And Pegasus, you want to introduce a little rival here?
And we got RecoN from JSS, the only remaining member, maybe along with Mista at the moment, in JSS. As this is the name of the tournament, Kian versus JSS. We have him playing ISIS with a monument start. I wonder if he's gonna AE.
Fantastic.
Very nice, very nice. The lone member of JSS, RecoN, was elected not to go ahead and sign a contract or a deal with Phantom Aces, but that could still change yet. He is a free agent. He had told us in the beginning of the broadcast he would like us to list him as a JSS player while he is going through that process, so we had followed his wishes. But RecoN, storied legend of the game, representing JSS, perhaps for the final time any player ever will represent JSS, as they are now all Phantom Aces.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. A pretty aggressive obelisk coming up pretty early. That's very funny to see. Map, pretty standard. We got the nice open middle that doesn't always happen in Alfheim, and more of the bouldering going on in the corners and the edges of the map. Quick look at the relics. We've got Thundercloud Shawl for Pierce Armor for our human soldiers. We've got Arrow of Hercules, very nice one for range attack of soldiers and ranged heroes, which could be important here. Cavalry speed increase, man, we got some great relics in this match. And God powers recharge faster, cost less favor, so really good relics actually. About to see if anyone goes for those early. I would expect that RecoN with Isis is probably going to be better off to get some of those early, because I don't think Thor is going to get a hearse route too soon with the standard Dwarven Armory opening.
Now,
And you know what? Just a shout out. I apologize to interrupt the game, but we do have $40 donated by Arcantos, the super fan for Magic, contributing to the prize pool, and another $20 being donated by Rodrigo to the prize pool, and another $5 being donated by Keji, the prize pool, and another $10 being donated by Robert, the prize pool, and lastly another $5 being donated by Paul, the prize pool. So we appreciate all of the donations. All of this money will be added to the prize pool. We will update the bar after this game, as well as let players know what type of contributions they're giving towards the first, second, and third place finishes.
Man, I love this community. Contributing to the
They're
players,
amazing.
giving these players a good reason to keep doing what they do. I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you everyone who donated. Jay, if you could send me a total count at some point in this game, I'll update that graphic right after this.
Definitely. And just not to deter from the game any more than we have, but just one more comment. I mean, we love everybody who's supported, viewed, even just joined the Discord, whatever it might have been. Like, this was a dream of Matt and mine's to be able to host an event for players, as well as like the community and the viewers themselves. So we are living that right now, and being able to host a tournament of this scale, to be able to let players showcase their talents and letting viewers enjoy the best Age of Mythology ever. A game we've played since we were before we were even 10 or 15 years old. Like, this is immense. Oh, well, game paused.
Good intermission, because we do have a game pause. I'll check the Discord really quick to see. Nope, no messages from them. Maybe they message you though, Jay. But
no messages just yet. It looks like this is a slight pause that might just be removed here very shortly, but we're going to be tuned in just to make sure everything is okay for both players.
Yeah, I'll say I'm just excited that we haven't had any serious technical issues at this point in the tournament. No desyncs or anything, so that's fantastic. But we haven't gotten that far into the action game. We've got a early surrender. I guess we'll have to find out what happened there. I'm sure we'll be getting a message pretty quickly.
Definitely. This will not be a actual result of the game due to the rule book. Any game that is surrendered before 8 minutes will not qualify or classify as a loss. Most likely this was a DC or a sync issue for the players, so we will be restarting the match with the same map, same god picks. We will get that information here to you very shortly.
Yeah, and for the 8-minute rule, just so everyone knows, we did a video on the tournament rules, but basically we established a list of rules for if a desync happens. 8 minutes is the cutoff that we will consider other factors on whether if we need to declare a victor or do a remake, but if there's a desync prior to 8 minutes, we've agreed just to restart the match.
Definitely. But we do know the matchup. We do know the players and their god selections. Pegasus, I'm curious to see, do you, in your experience of playing with these guys many times on the ladder, do you think one or the other has an advantage with which god they've picked?
No, listen, these guys are all down to mechanics. One thing you want to know about RecoN and Magic, unlike most of the rest of the competitors in this tournament, is that these players play multiple RTS games at a very high level. They have very great foundations. RecoN is a great AoE 2 player as well. Magic did really well in AoE 4. These players, it's gonna come down to basics and fundamentals. They both have really good gods. I really doubt it's gonna come down to just one god being so much better than the other. It's gonna come down to the better player for sure.
Perfect. I mean, with that type of analysis, with a player who's actually played with these guys multiple times, we're definitely in store for a great series, if anyone did not doubt that already. And Matt, it looks like the lobby is recreated and they are starting with the same credentials. So we will be going back to broadcast here within a few moments.
Sounds good. I'll just pin it back to the draft deck there that we have. So same picks for this match, and I'll go look for
and
it.
I believe the lobby is hosted already.
Yep, I see it. Just started, so we'll be back in pretty quick.
Yep.
Did we hear what the issue was?
Yes, their issue was that there was a priest unit on the side of the Egyptians that was locked and not able to move. It was a mechanical glitch due to the game, and both players agreed to restart due to that unfair advantage that was placed towards Magic's side.
I love the classiness of AOM players. That's fantastic.
It's refreshing. It's truly refreshing that players really care about competitive integrity and just want the best of the best to be done and want to play a fair game. It's really nice.
Yeah, so back into the game. Now spawning at the north side of the map, we have RecoN again on Isis, and at the south side of the map, Magic on Thor. Same openings, it looks like, for both players.
Yeah, and while we have a chance, why don't we take a look at the relics and see what Pegasus thinks would be the most advantageous?
We got cavalry speed again. Buildings more resistant to siege. Myth units more resistant to pierce damage, pretty niche there. And then villager hit points. Any thoughts, Pegasus?
Oof. Let's see, villager hit points. I think it's too far away from Magic, but that helps so immensely against Ancestor Eclipse. I don't think... you have Thor. Thor is not gonna scout this relic even if you play this match 200 times. He's not gonna scout it probably. But the cavalry relic is kind of in the middle of both of them, and it's an insane relic. I think both players should go for it, especially the Isis. She's gonna have super boosted camels.
Yeah, camels and chariots are affected by this as well, right? If counter cavalry units do bonus damage to them, they must be classified as that. So really impactful relic. This might be the best relic in the game. I don't know. It's just with how much cavalry we see in every single game right now.
Just as a call out to the chat, this was a mutual agreed restart as well, even though the tournament rules would have allowed for it. This was not because Magic forgot his armory by any means, guys.
Pegasus, I think you were about to say something there.
The fact that we had a restart completely changes the dynamic of this matchup, because I don't know if you're paying too much attention. Last game, all of the gold mines were forward. If you were to go 2TC on the last map, it would be very hard to secure a gold mine. Where here, if you look at the cliffs, both players have 2 gold mines behind the cliff. Now, I think 2TC here is a no-brainer for both players. Well, last game it would have been more 1TC kind of style.
Well, pretty interesting. We have a bit of a parallel mismatch here where both players has 2 gold mines on one side, but the settlement on the other. What would you expect, Pegasus, that they go for their nearby settlement or the one that's going to be in front of those gold mines?
I don't think you go for the forward settlements here. The cliff is enough. It doesn't matter which TC is on the side. The cliffs are so insanely busted here. You're never gonna get traded there.
Yeah.
I'm very curious because I saw RecoN do the build in getting flood early. I don't see that often lately. I think he got it this time. Yeah, he did. And I wonder if he goes Anubis. I know Mista and RecoN like Anubis for some reason. So let's see if he goes for that.
Yeah, that'd be exciting. We haven't seen like any Anubis really, and the Anubite, you know, it's not the best myth unit, but I think when it comes to the coolness factor, it might be the most cool myth unit out there.
Definitely. Another shout out to another donator, Michael, who is a contributor to the channel, a friend of ours who is the Atlantean player and a lot of our tier list, had donated another $20 to the prize pool. So thank you, Michael, for your donation towards the players' prize pool.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got to fix our pop-up. We tried setting up a donation pop-up. We couldn't get it to work. I donated a lot of $3 increments to the prize pool to test it, but that's in the prize pool. It's locked and loaded there now.
Definitely.
All right, well, pretty standard openings. We do see Freya coming through, which we would have expected, and you were right, Pegasus. We got Anubis coming through, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Well, looking at the second monument is gonna go 2 Anobites right away for sure, but the follow-up, what's it gonna be? I think his only answer is gonna be 2 TC here. 2 TC, 2 Anobites. Let's see what Magic answers with.
Yeah, and we do see both food and gold stacking up for both players, but not a lot of wood. But here's the transition, so potentially we do see Magic going for that second TC if he's stocking up wood, or maybe just looking for production buildings. We'll have to find out as both of the age ups come through. We do see a Nubite, another one coming out, so great call there, getting 2 of those out early.
And Mista, I know you're sick, but if you are feeling up for it and you want to join the cast, feel free to just message me and join into the lobby, and we'll move you in too. I know you're pretty active in the Discord chat, the Twitch chat right now. We'd love to have you if you are interested in joining the broadcast team.
Valkyrie coming in. Priest is ready though, but Valkyrie, wow, we got Priest and Pharaoh. That Valkyrie's not going to do anything. It's running straight back out of there. I like the little jukes back and forth from Magic to try and dodge some of those shots, keeping the Valkyrie somewhat healthy, but yeah, no damage done. See the same thing coming out on the other side with the Anubites too. They're going to be hunting for something here.
Yeah, Anubites, like you said, are one of the most fun myth units, in my opinion, to be able to watch, but definitely a little bit weaker. And you see that now, where there's basically a couple of Hearths are able not just to draw them away, but even render their special ability to some extent useless. However, RecoN does a fantastic job of getting those 2 Anubites out. However, the Valkyrie, on the other hand, is under immense pressure as well. While the second TC is coming up from RecoN's side on the north, more towards the center of the map rather than in the safe pocket of the very west. So we do see that second TC coming up very shortly.
Yeah, and sniping that relic just seconds before Magic got there, so going to be able to pull that all the way back to the base. That's the Cavalry hit points relic, very strong one that we have here, and a lot of a Nubite investment. Pretty interesting.
Definitely. We're going to see what these units are being capable of right now. The Hearthster is not able to take down the Priest, as that relic is safely secured back into the temple. It looks like that second TC up is up now effectively as well. While we don't have a response on Magic's side just necessarily yet to answer that second TC, I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to react quickly enough.
Yeah, I don't think he scouted the second TC by RecoN, so he's gonna be playing in the dark, which is you never want to do. This is one weakness Thor has in high level, because high level is all about scouting.
Yeah, absolutely. And sending over the dwarfs here blind, doesn't know how secure this location is, right? He doesn't know exactly what these cliffs look like, but looks like he did see at least the settlement being built, so he can imagine that's out there now. And typically we would expect the response is to build a second TC of your own, but no real sign of that at this point. And let me go ahead and switch the top banner as well, get players on the right side, but we start to see wood stacking up, maybe some gold, so maybe a second TC coming in, but it's definitely going to be delayed versus RecoN's TC.
But I will say Magic has done a very good job of creating a chokehold near his temple in the very start of his base here, where he's going to be able to funnel any pressure that does appear there without raids happening from cavalry from the back end. So effective use of walling as well as his temple to be able to make that happen. Washer does seem to be caught out, as Magic is able to kill it from RecoN. So good use on Magic's part, or RecoN's part, to be able to catch that unit out of place.
Yeah, you know what walls don't stop though? They don't stop in Nubites. So even
That
though
is
there's a
true.
wall coming over here, they could just do a little hop over, and he knows that there's dwarfs here gathering the berries. Does have units out, Magic prepared for this. No hero
Raiding
units.
cavalry Raiding cavalry is directly going into the Nubites right now, and let's see if 3 Nubites can take out these raiding cavalry fast enough. He does know that this is not an advantageous fight as Magic moves them away quickly, and because of the movement speed, he is in safety. However, those Nubites are still present upon the map.
Yeah, and RecoN increasing his cow lead. We had kind of call it in the chat 8 cow lead apparently for RecoN. Yeah, we've only got a couple over here, so pretty solid lead on the cows. Don't know if it'll make a huge difference, but I guess we'll find out. Nicely defended by Magic though, seeing that threat coming in ahead of time, raiding cap to distract, and then he pulled some Herser down to guard those units. So knowing that those Anubites are coming out, and we've got a little bit of a push from him as well to take down some of these walls.
Definitely, some of these units are going directly onto these walls, trying to be able to put a little bit of pressure back onto Magic. Onto RecoN. However, the units do pull back as the few Nubites are being caught out right now. It does not look like Magic is going to be able to lose these Nubites. However, oh boy,
The forest fire.
forest fire with the jump.
Nice, very nice.
The Nubites live.
And that whole forest is me going down. And
Pegasus, what is your thought of forest fire? We've heard a few pros talk to us about it today. I'm curious to what you think of that god power.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure of the range. I should test it more in single player. I'm really not, I think it can be really good. Maybe you don't want to use it instantly. There's one more thing I want to say is that maybe the reason RecoN likes Anubites here because this map is wall heavy. Too loud now.
Yeah,
I switched
turning you
my
back down.
microphone.
I flipped you on Discord a bit too as well. But yeah, I think you're in a good spot now.
You're in a good spot now.
Wonderful. So I think the reason RecoN likes the Anubites here is that this is a wall-heavy map, and I think Anubites can jump over walls.
Yeah, makes sense. And the jumping has proven effective, but I haven't really seen any significant damage done by those Nubites yet. So I don't know that we're getting the full value out of them. But it is making Magic respond at least. You know, he had to respond to that potential raid down there. And the Nubites did, of course, help get this second TC up. But army's just growing, and both players seem happy to scale here. We do see Magic going up through Scotty. Gonna get Frost out in the Frost Giants, and I think we're gonna have a huge Heroic Age fight at this point.
Yeah, and more production buildings are being placed down by Magic right now, so he's preparing when he does age up to be able to scale that military very quickly. And his mass is getting to the point where it is outscaling quite a bit what RecoN has on the map right now. So I'm curious to see whether RecoN is going to continue to invest in. He is floating a little bit of gold, hanging around 500 right now. So we're curious to see where that gold is spent.
Yeah. Just scouting out.
You can see highlighted in this game the problem of Thor. Magic probably has no idea that RecoN has these 2 gold mines behind the cliff.
Yep.
So he's thinking, okay, I'll push this forward one, maybe win the game on 1 TC.
And the units go ahead and do a little bit of clashes. The Nubites jump in directly into the front line against Magic. However, his units are going to be pushed back, but a few raiding cavalry do come to the side to reinforce Magic's position as he does dance back and forth. A few villagers do drop, and a couple of military units on both sides do drop. However, the engagement is not determined one way or the other. Plenty is activated on the side of RecoN. Ancestors is dropped, while Frost is dropped in response right on top of the Ancestors army that was being put. Magic is able to get a lot of free reign right now, while that Ancestors is being completely useless. And then on top of that, a hill fort is being constructed directly into the base of RecoN, while this Frost is being proportioned.
Yeah, that felt like a checkmate move, right? Being prepared for the Serpents and for the Ancestors, having Frost in the back pocket, and I imagine that's why he went through Scotty, is to have that available. Some of the Ancestors spawn later, so they still get a bit of damage, but there's Goaty out here, there's Herser out here, gonna be able to handle those just fine, and now the Hill Fort's starting to do damage as well. And another one, he's going for 2 of them right here on the gold mine, trying to deny this.
Yeah, Magic is showing like a stance that, hey, I'm going to contest you directly on top of your base with my army while that Frost is going on. Establish myself in a good position, but the Frost drops, and now RecoN's army is ready to react as they go ahead and start picking off cavalry in the back line. Magic is starting to back between his 2 hill forts. He doesn't need to necessarily take this trade. However, RecoN will have to have a response here very shortly to be able to answer both these hill forts being placed directly onto RecoN's base.
But I think Pegasus pointed out something great here is what Magic doesn't know is he's got 2 more gold mines back here. He's fine for a bit. So the base is going to take some damage, but he's not really too concerned about this particular gold mine at this point.
Let me correct myself. Magic definitely knew about one of these gold mines at least, so this is very intentional by Magic. He's not playing blind like I thought. He has a plan. I'm not sure what it is, because something about Alfheim chariots in choke points are very hard to deal with.
Yeah, maybe the plan is Frost Giants. We do see Rhyme coming through for the upgrade. Another Frost Giant coming out. Already 2 on the
Villagers
map.
getting caught out right now on RecoN side while the Cavalry go, and initially the Ice Giants follow up right after. He is able to knock down about 2, maybe 3 villagers, as well as a few straggler units, as he does decide to pull back while RecoN's main army reinforces that second town center.
I like the Frost Giant play though, maybe anticipating Chariot Archers. 80% or 70% Pierce armor is very high for a unit. And here they go, sieging the TC.
Directly going into the TC, these units are going to clash right upon it. While most units are going towards the main unit, they do have a few of these archers going on the backline. The throwing axemen are going primarily against that backline right now, getting free resistance. However, these mid units are getting isolated completely by the priest, while these backline units are going to get free grasp with these chariot archers. And we are seeing a thinning of Magic's front line completely, as the backline will be under direct threat now as RecoN pushes forward. Right now, it looks like this is an even trade. However, Magic has lost a majority of his army.
Yeah, I feel like he just threw away a lot of his army there without really getting a lot of damage. You know, the villager pick-off was quite good, but maybe hanging out too long. The priest numbers are just much too high for these Frost Giants to have a significant impact right now, unless you have a way of sniping those priests. But as far as units that can match the range, there's only the Goaty, and he doesn't have enough of them.
Definitely. I mean, at this point, you have to wonder what Magic's response is going to be able to respond. And you see RecoN going for a third town center, while Magic is just on the 1. This could be quite problematic for Magic if he's not able to respond economically. Right now, the villager counts are definitely in the favor of RecoN, but that's just going to get exponentially worse if there's no response.
And Magic, definitely suspicious, but doesn't know quite yet. He's going to find out with the Jarl that this town center is up. He's looking for villagers probably, and that's not good news seeing that town center. He's got to think about getting his own now, and he is going to be doing that on the other side.
Definitely. The second town center is coming up on Magic's side to be able to respond, but is it too little too late considering the third is up from RecoN? These 2 hill forts do apply a lot of pressure in the center of the map against RecoN for Magic. However, in the end of the day, this is a very problematic situation for Magic, considering he can get outscaled economically.
Oh, I am so excited, guys. We have Osiris coming through in a couple seconds here. Son of Osiris going to be on the map. I'm excited to see it.
You know what I was thinking, Matt, is like, why have we not seen an Egyptian team get to the 4th age yet, Mythic Age? And why have we not seen Son of Osiris? We're finally getting Son of Osiris on a game.
Villagers going down. I was pretty skeptical about Magic's chances in this game, and maybe I'm still that way with the Mythic Age coming through, but he is going to be able to clean up this town center. And I'm curious, Pegasus, where do you think this game sits right now? Who would you bet on if you had to pick the winner?
Unfortunately, the nature of the map is just, it's gonna get to a point, especially with Son of Osiris in a choke, with chariots in a choke. North's just not gonna have an answer to these units, and I'm very worried for Magic's position right now.
Not enough range, right? Choke points, if you can't get past the front line and can't hit their back line with, like the priest, the chariots, Son of Osiris. I agree. We see the town center coming up for Magic as well, but it might be too little too late, and the economic lead is pretty massive right now for RecoN.
And we have a big massive units going to take out the first hill fort completely. The second one drops now as the main army does initiate and engage against some straggler units that are going out, but siege towers are up on that side looking to see if they have an opportunity to engage. RecoN is seeing what his options are and where his next engagement will be.
Oh wow. He tried to snipe that town center right from under his nose, but the lone axeman able to hang on to the spot. But here come the chariot archers, so maybe this is actually RecoN's town center after all.
You have to think Magic is going to reply here to be able to move some army down. He does position his actual entire army towards the chariot archers that were creating that harass in the first place, drawing them back behind enemy lines. But at the same time, oh nope, you just stop building the army.
Yeah,
I mean,
just enough
the
berserk
sunset.
out there to stop that from happening. Not enough villager count. But we do see Mythic Age coming through any second now, so we will have Son of Osiris on the map. But I feel like we may have a quick forfeit here after that, because this is not a good position for Magic to be in at this point in the game.
I think it might be a little bit too quick to say forfeit, but definitely not an advantageous position. Both players are getting close to a 3 TC point. We do have quite a bit of Frost Giants on the side of Magic to be able to help counteract some of the initial potency of RecoN's army. However, his army is directly going with Son of Osiris towards this initial front post of production building. So Magic's gonna have to have some sort of response very quickly to make sure that this doesn't spiral out of control for him.
Got the town center, looking for the hill fort, but Son of Osiris is gonna shred these Frost Giants if he gets an attack off.
Yeah, and the priests in the back line are also doing an immense amount of damage, just pushing them back away from the front line, making sure that Magic is not able to aggress any further than he already has. Even though the hill fort's up, what type of protection does it do when you have these types of siege on top of it? Pegasus, what do you think Magic needs to do to get back into the game?
I don't think he's going Mythic, is he? He is now.
He is now.
Just got it up Balder, actually, so alright. Pretty interesting getting the Fire Giants out. Maybe we'll have a huge power play to come back in this, but I don't know if there's enough villagers for it.
I don't think you ever go Ragnarok, even if you want to go Balder for the Fire Giants, for the upgrades. They're much better than Tier. It's very difficult being in Magic's position here. He has to get through the Son of Osiris.
And even with the Ragnarok, you maybe can push back this offensive assault, but you're not going to be able to do any crazy damage to RecoN's base. So yeah, I think he's just in a tough spot at this point.
Oh man, and the Son of Osiris and the priests are doing massive damage and casualties from the backline, just picking off units with each lightning strike that happens. However, Magic's front line is pushing further and further with this Front Giant lead directly into the chariots, which is going to be a definite counter. However, can the Son of Osiris knock these giants out before more of these chariots fall? It looks like 2 more ice giants fall. The third and final ice giant is about to fall very quickly. Will this backline of throwing axemen be able to do enough damage to this front line before they fall? It looks like he is able to thin out the mass on RecoN's side as the damage is done. However, Catapult is taking out the 3rd TC that Magic has on the back. Oh man, we have an intense fight on our hands right now. However, Magic is being thinned out even more as the Chariot Archers and Son of Osiris are able to withstand that assault, and they were going to push further into the base of RecoN.
It almost looked like he was going to hold there for a second, but the front line died, and with just throwing axemen, they can't compete with the chariots. So now at this point, base just being swarmed. I wonder if we see the Ragnarok drop right away. We do see the Ragnarok drop, so here comes the push from Magic. We'll see how much damage can he get done with this Ragnarok, because his economy is non-existent after that cast.
Ragnarok is cast, everything is put into this Hail Mary play, something we have not seen yet in the tournament. These heroes of Ragnarok are going directly against the chariots right now, sacrificing his economy, but saying, hey, I have one more chance to win this freaking game, let me freaking do it. The Fire Giant reinforces the heroes on the front line, pushing the chariots all the way back to the base, while other Ragnarok heroes go ahead and try to take down Stronghold on the other side. However, the Chariot Archers are very effective in fighting against these heroes as they get picked off one by one. But Magic is being placed into a situation where he is losing quite a bit of his Ragnarok army. Is he going to be able to capitalize with this god power that he just cast to say, I'm going to take a roll of the dice to win this game if I can? And unfortunately, right now, it looks like RecoN is answering everything that he has to throw at it.
Yeah, definitely. The cast definitely came from a place of desperation, right? Not from a place of strength. He certainly, once he had Mythic Age queued up, he wants to hold on long enough to cast it to see what he can do. But now it's the retreat with the Ragnarok heroes, and that's never a good sign for a Norse player.
No, definitely. And Magic is in a very tough position now that he has sacrificed his entire economy. He is back to training villagers, but what will it do when you've given up so much to be able to use these heroes of Ragnarok to so little effect? We're getting picked off one by one as you run back to your base, as these Chariot Archers efficiently take out more and more of your heroes.
All right, if Magic wins this game, I'm putting 100 in the prize pool. I'm calling it right now because this is looking dire here for him. Son of Osiris still basically full health. He could do so much damage to these units.
Definitely.
He's making him work for it, though. Magic is saying, no, you're going to have to kill my base before I give up on this game. He's really making him work for it.
And I will say I appreciate and love the fact that Magic will not surrender. You have to find a win condition. As ever slightly the chances are that you get that win condition will be. You have to find it and secure it and go for it. So the fact that Magic is still putting himself in this game, up until I said that and jinxed him, was a great sign.
Yeah, I was looking at the villager count and military count, and when you've cast Ragnarok and you still have a third of the opponent's military, I don't see the comeback condition, no matter how good of a player Magic is.
While you guys break down this last game that we had, I'm going to take a moment to use my first bathroom break of the day and then get the second lobby going. So I appreciate that. I will get a moment until I get back for the next game.
Sounds good. Thank you. And yeah, I think you called it well, Pegasus. The choke points, the chariot archers, the booming economy. It felt like even though this game lasted a full 23 minutes, it really ended more at the 12-13 minute mark.
Magic definitely had his openings. He had his chances. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very difficult position to be in for Magic. Maybe the 1TC was not the play. Maybe he could have done the same thing, but with 2TC, so he's not on so much of a timer. One more thing is that this is very uncharacteristic by Magic. You rarely ever see Magic doing these 1TC on a timer plays, so it's very surprising to see this.
Yeah, and I think a sentiment I've heard a couple times is that Thor is an incredibly strong god, but he does have a bit of a weakness for certain Egyptian gods because they can match him inside of the booming economy and even exceed it. Do you share that assessment?
Absolutely. I think Norse is a very strong civ. Thor is absolutely busted, but they do have some weaknesses. And the weaknesses of Norse is archers, especially on this map with choke points. I don't want to be Norse here, to be honest. It's very difficult to deal with archers. Your highest multiplier is the Huskarl at 2, which is not that high.
Yeah, and not even that fast of a unit or that tanky of a unit outside of pierce damage. So even Son of Osiris would shred through those Huskarl. Interesting, because I believe we actually had Magic pick this map, so maybe he just wasn't expecting the Egyptian opponent and thinking he could outboom on 1TC and get an advantage. But we'll have to see in game 2 how this goes. I'm sure they're getting the lobby ready. I might just go ahead and check if it's already there.
I will be joining for the lobby. I'm back for my little break.
All right, let's take a look. I'm sure he's doing the draft right now. Final thoughts, Pegasus, on this game?
Can we look at the all resources total?
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Let's see how much this 2TC got him ahead.
It kept it pretty close. I mean, it actually was quite close the whole time. Those extra dwarfs proving pretty effective.
Yeah, look, the 2TC, he was ahead the entire game. On 1TC is just fine, I guess, for Thor. He's just that strong in economy.
Yeah, I think this graphic maybe tells the story of why Thor is too good. The fact that you can hang in with 1TC versus 2 and 3 TCs and keep the villager count close and even ahead for the most part. I know some of this is from the age up time spent for RecoN aging up to the ages. You can't build villagers, that's part of it. He did age up a bit quicker in most places, but that is surprising to look at that, the total resource count there, that being really quite close.
I wonder if flaming weapons could have done something there.
Yeah, I was surprised about the frost pick, but it did seem to be quite effective into the ancestors to stop that aggression from the ancestors, you know, basically nullifying that god power entirely. But flaming weapons, especially if the plan was to go mythic, and maybe that wasn't the plan originally, but if the plan was to go mythic, I agree. I think flaming weapons with the Ragnarok would be a lot more effective than what we got out of Frost.
Could be. There's no right or wrong answer. The Frost Giants are definitely a good pick against chariots with high pierce armor, and maybe for his playstyle, flaming weapons would have been much better because he was just going for this one big fight, which he lost, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll look back at the draft. I'll get this updated really quick while we wait for the players to set up their next draft picks in the next lobby. So we did get the loss on Thor. Unfortunate. I'm gonna cut that. Let me copy and paste that here. Thor is out of the pool, and we got the win for RecoN on Isis. So RecoN taking the 1-0 lead inside of this matchup, and Alfheim belongs to RecoN.
Both players look in shape. This game came down to just pure decision making. I'm very happy with what I see. RecoN is on top of his game as always, and Magic looks to be in shape, at least macro-wise. Let's see what he goes for the second match.
Yeah, I'm curious if we see a big pivot. You know, we've got the biggest water map spanned out. We still have Kurlagar available, but that's pretty much the only map where fishing is available at all at this point. So we're not going to have a water transition. I am hoping that Magic pulls out Ra. That's really what I'm hoping for here, and see what he can do with that god.
And now, to interrupt again, we have our second match in this series, where RecoN has taken the first win. We will be playing on Watering Hole.
Okay.
Game. Now, RecoN has elected to play for his god.
Okay.
Magic has elected to play, and I know this is going to be very fun for you guys in the chat. Set is making an appearance in the tournament.
No way.
We have Set finally in the tournament. We have our friend, the Count Von Count, General of the Aces, and Pegasus joining us for this decisive game 2. I am so excited.
You're kidding me, Count. Say something.
I don't want to say Pegasus. You made me silence today.
Please ignore that and move forward.
Congratulations on the win, by the way.
Thank you.
Guys, what an amazing show and what an amazing series we were watching. Also, the previous series was great to watch. Such a good game and such a good tournament.
Hey, thank you so much for the support, guys. And this wouldn't be possible without the support of JSS. And I will say JSS because they just turned into Phantom Aces. But we were working with Count and the JSS guys, and we were working with Keen, with Regulate and Flame to make this all possible. The fact that two guys that just love the game were able to get two organizations that have such a history in this space to trust us to run a tournament with their players in it means the world to me and Matt. So thank you so much, Keen. Thank you so much, JSS/Phantom Aces. You guys have been incredible to work with throughout this whole process.
It's very nice to hear, and it's a pleasure joining you guys. So anytime, let me know whenever you want us to participate again, and we will hear you.
Definitely, and just so you know, the next we'll talk about this later in the stream, but the next Underworld Showdown might actually be a team tournament for you, Count. So we're gonna bring you out of retirement.
Yeah, like if a team tournament is going to happen, like I might actually quit my job and go full time.
Well, after that, I could say pretty confidently it's gonna happen after that.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
But at least I'm gonna at least try and train a little bit and then try if I can get better.
Definitely. And something that is not announced yet, and perhaps I'm overstepping, but the winner of the Ultimate Showdown crown, whoever wins this tournament, will have a chance to call out a player of their choice across anybody on the ladder, as long as they're top 100 on the ladder, for a best of 5 show match, which me and Matt will cast live on the Underworld Showdown channel. And the winner of that will have a prize pool for just a show match. No qualifiers, no nothing. The winner of the showdown is the first King of the Hill, and the winner of that show match series will continue down to further show matches, which will be much more casual and will have much more people going. Matt, the lobby should be formed here very shortly with the same password and credentials as last time.
Okay, I'm looking for it. And yeah, we're excited to talk about that one later in the stream, but really fun idea, I think, making something smaller than this 8-person tournament, but having a King of the Hill type thing where there's a champion and they keep playing each time we host the event until they lose, and they can call out the next person as their competitor, and we'll see how long of a streak anyone can pull off.
You want to know what I want to know, Matt?
Sure.
If the winner of the Underworld Showdown has the balls to call out the Mista or the Rapple, I want to see the winner of the Underworld Showdown call out one of those two. But it's their choice for the first match. It'd be fantastic to see how that goes out. I know Mista's in the chat. Just know somebody is gunning for you. Just know somebody's gunning for you.
Yeah,
And
personally, I I would call out John Arbiter for sure.
Oh no. Oh Matt, can I have my
No,
spiel?
no.
Oh, I have my spiel. Oh, please.
No, we were trying to get John to join in on the cast, but we didn't get anything back from him. So that's the spiel basically. Because we've watched some of his content. We actually had a really fun game we were casting of his, but it kept desyncing, so we couldn't actually post it. But he was doing Cyclops Rush, had like 10 of them in his army. It was a really fun match, but for whatever reason, the game just wouldn't let us finish it.
Yeah, but Pegasus, you would shit on John Arbiter.
Absolutely not. What are you talking about? That guy's built different.
Literally.
Just so you know, when we get the cams back going for the next match, Matt will flex. Matt has built better than John Arbiter.
in my jacket and dress shirt, yeah, you'll see it all.
Yes.
All right, I'm checking for the lobby. Haven't seen it yet.
It's still forming up. It should be here very soon, but while they're working out the technical difficulties and getting that lobby formed, what are we expecting with these matchups? The gods are selected for these players. Do either of you guys have an opinion of who's favored with these god picks?
Yes. I think the most important thing about this matchup, Set versus Gaia, is that we need to ban Super FM from the chat immediately.
Oh man,
Get him
that's
outta
great.
here.
Get him out of here.
Who's that? I'm looking at the chat
I don't
history
know.
right now.
I'm looking at it right now too. I'm trying to see who that is.
Is the Set connoisseur.
Okay.
He's a player from the old Legacy game, and he was like, let's say, his opinion is that his main god set is very weak. Well, it obviously was one of the best gods for ages. So, explaining the joke a little bit.
Yeah, it is one that I've been hoping we would see some games for, and I guess we're about to have our first one with Set. Very curious. Are we expecting the classical age slinger rush? Is that pretty much what we expect to see here?
While we're answering that question, why don't we go ahead and play the infographics while the lobby is being placed, just so players can see again these two players' historic legacy, as well as what their favorite gods are and how it's played out in this championship so far.
All right, and then I'll give you guys my opinion on this matchup. So I feel like on Veteran Hall there's a lot of hands. So that means Set should be able to boom as hard as Gaia is. But if there's like little hand on the map, then I feel like it's easier for Gaia to get a good economy running. And then eventually you have like a natural counter with your Atlantean army with Destroyers, Cantaries, and Arcus. And it's very hard to counter that mess of Arcus with Egyptian. However, when there is a lot of hand on the map and Set can get like 4 town centers, and right now with those imbalanced slingers, like Set actually has counterplay. So I think it's a little bit favorable for Set, but it should be a close game.
Very nice. Pegasus, any thoughts?
This is Magic's comfort pick. Magic is really good on Watering Hole. I don't know if you guys have history watching Magic. Hopefully most of you witnessed the grueling matches of Mista and Magic back in the day on Vubli. They played a lot of Watering Hole for some reason, and Magic is just really good on this map. He can get the 3TC, he can get the 4TC with the really one of the best macros I ever seen in the game. Magic is just really good at that. And if he just keeps that up and spams slingers with segment, it's brutal in late game.
Yeah, so a bit of a early game powerhouse. First, don't let Gaia scale. Gaia scales up, gets the Argus out, gets the Argus out, sorry. That could be really difficult to deal with. And Jay, I don't know, are you still in this chat?
Yes, I am. I just got back confirmation that the lobby has started, so we should be good with the same credentials as last time.
All right, I'm looking for it. We'll see what we find.
One thing I'm worried about is that Implode is absolutely busted.
I feel like Implode, it's hot or cold every day when we hear about it. If people like it or think it's garbage. You think it's strong right now?
Might be the best god power in the game might be. It's like Lightning Storm, you know, if it was good. Because
yeah.
We definitely underrated Implode in our tier list when we had that video come up. I've learned that very much so.
It did get buffed, to be fair, but to run through this very quickly, the reason Implode is good when I compare it to Lightning Storm, and trust me, I'm not biased here, is that when you click on Implode, you're not gonna run away. I think they buffed that. You also cannot garrison, and it's also instant. Whereas Lightning Storm takes 3 seconds, I think. You can garrison versus it. Don't think it does damage to buildings. There's so many things going for Implode, and it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing why we didn't put Lightning Storm high, is because you can just garrison and it doesn't do a lot of damage to buildings. But we are ready to get to game here, so everyone, are we ready to go?
Ready to go. Let's get the show on the road.
All right, loading it up. And I'm going to let our two guests here announce their players for this matchup. So I'll go ahead and open up the game. And hopefully, I am sharing in Discord still for both of you, so you don't have the delay, but go ahead for RecoN. No one? Wow.
Oh, sorry, guys. This is my boy RecoN, guys, playing as Gaia in the blue color. There he is. Second place, Red Bull, incredibly talented. My boy Daniel. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
go.
And on the top side of the map, in red, playing as Seth, is the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of AOM, IamMagic, the GOAT of the game, the keen connoisseur. What's he gonna pull out this game? I'm very excited to see.
Okay, as far as introductions go, I'm sorry. I think you won that, Pegasus. That was great.
I don't think we're introducing any more games. This will be a fun one. This will be a very fun one. All right, let's take a look at the map. What do you guys think about this watering hole spawn? It's pretty consistent, this map, but anything in particular?
I think it's very important that you check if there is big patches of a hunt near to the 4 town centers, because Seth basically wants to go for a 4 town center to 2 town center advantage, and if this hunt is close, then it's good for him. So if you look at the 4 town center of Magic, it's pretty close to the Aurochs he is converting right now. And same goes actually for RecoN. So if Magic can take the 4 town center of RecoN and then lure in his Aurochs, then I think he can be in a very good position. So right now I would say the map is good for Magic.
Very nice. With that, let's take a look at the relics that are placed upon.
Yeah, we've got okay, pretty crap relic Demeter's Throne over there. I mean, it's going to give you a little resource save, but not much, especially for Egyptians. Buildings were resistant to siege, decent relic there. Infantry trained faster, could be a pretty solid relic for both of these civilizations. And then villagers regenerate hit points, quite nice for anti-raid. So decent relics. I don't think anything crazy on this map though.
Yeah, nothing too crazy from the initial looks. I'm curious to hear what the pros think about this, but I think that it's going to allow for a game that's going to be much more based on macro and skill rather than what advantages they can get from these relics.
I totally agree. I think all the 4 relics you just showed are quite average.
Yep. All right, and we see the early scouting out from Magic. Interestingly, he did not opt for the early vision. I'm curious what the two of you think about vision and clairvoyance with the unique tech to get the recast. How strong do we think vision is today?
Maggie, what do you think?
Peggy doesn't think about vision.
Doesn't think about vision. It's very weak to him.
In that case, I'll start. I feel like vision is a decent god power to open up with, so you instantly have an idea of how the map looks like, but it's not a game changer, right? Like a dwarf mine can be a game changer, or a great hunt can be a game changer. But vision, it's nice to have vision, but with all the scouting of all the animals, and like Seth will always go for map control. So basically, Seth always has vision, so it's not going to be a big game changer from my point of view.
Definitely, and I mean, from right now, we see vision being held back, still not being used, so you have to wonder what the intention is with that god power, but for now, we see it not being used. And a typical start from both sides, Economic Guild coming up in Temple, both on Gaia's side right now. We have to wonder if it's going to be just a standard quick age up and look to harass pretty quickly, but the Buffalo decides that he has a bone to pick with this watchtower. This Buffalo despises being watched on the prairie.
Yeah, and with the archaic age 0.7 attack per second, it didn't even hurt it. It doesn't do any damage to the watchtower. That's pretty funny.
Didn't do any damage.
That's very funny.
All right.
Listen, I wanted to say.
Does
Sorry, go ahead.
I was asking, sorry to interrupt you, how many villagers does RecoN have on gold?
In which?
Because
Well,
it will say a lot. Like, this is Magic you're watching right now. He has a lot of gold. But
Oh,
RecoN.
yeah, RecoN. Yeah, thank you.
So he's like
Yeah.
4 in gold. This basically means he's instantly going for second town center, right?
Yep.
Why else would he have so many in gold?
Yeah, a lot on wood as well. He's got stacked that up, so it looks like he's going to go straight for it after aging up here. And we do have the age up, pretty much expected to get the Caladri out. Going for a military barracks, actually, instead of the second TC right away. I am also a bit surprised about that.
Yeah, but
Listen,
you have to think.
As
Go
I
ahead,
wanted
Nick.
to say, Vision is great here, but it's a no-brainer that both of them are gonna go 2 TC. They both know it's an optimal play.
Yep, and we do see the second TC coming up for Magic already. He's got the resources out, getting that built up. A little bit of animals protect. Vision likely to spot out whether this second TC is already being taken. It has not been taken yet, so a little bit later of a timing there. Looking to get out some Murmillo, it looks like, to start before we go for that second TC.
Definitely, and while the game is going to a standard set, I have to notice that that second TC is going to be able to help counterbalance anything that the Atlanteans are going to do. But nope, the second TC does come up pretty quickly on the side of RecoN, so Magic will have an answer towards his second TC.
And I love this move on set to disrupt the hunt proactively for your opponent. Not only do you get the decay, but now that this hunt is all spread around, there's not really a great efficient place to drop that granary to start gathering this. That's a really nice move. He's probably going to be gifting over a little bit of food at this point. Yeah, that water buffalo is not going to be able to get out of there.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice chill game so far. Second TC, everyone's booming. We'll see how it turns out.
One thing to note is that RecoN here respected Magic a lot. He knew he had Vision, he knew he had Shifting Sands, and he was very patient with his second TC. Only after the Vision was used, he moved out.
Yeah.
Very patient there.
Yeah, it makes sense, and likely why he waited to use Vision in the first place. So that's probably why we saw the military barracks coming up first before the town center. It's a great call out, waiting for that Shifting Sands. It's been very powerful, both for denying that TC, and I have seen a few people use it to just get to the second TC faster, just transporting their villagers directly to it immediately. So a couple cool uses for Shifting Sands. Definitely one we undervalued, Jay, originally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a wonderful guide posted by Soup where he talked about Raw's ability to use that Shifting Sands early on, be able to deny a second TC, if not use it to be able to apply massive pressure. It was a great video for aspiring Egyptian players to be able to take a look at. So I highly recommend taking a look at that if, Egypt is in your line of view that you want to play.
Oh yeah, and I am a fool in the chat for mentioning the walking time. We're Atlanteans here. There's no walking time. What am I talking about? have it stay, everyone. Maybe the first skirmish here, though, about to break out. Just Murmillo on the side of RecoN right now. Got the counter axeman ready to go for Magic, so he's got the right unit composition to take this fight, not to mention the water buffalo. So looking like he's going to be able to hold anything that comes in here. Nice little wall just in time to prevent them from getting over to the other villagers.
Definitely, and having just a couple Caladria like the way that RecoN does right now offers a lot of utility, not just to slow down opponents, but be able to take a trade that he might not want early on, to be able to heal them back up to proper health for the next one. So he's able to position himself in a different way just because of the fact that he has 2 Caladria ready to go to help him out.
Yeah, I expect RecoN's going to wait till Bite of the Shark comes through before he actually takes any of these engages, but he's moving out on the map. The units might be a little caught out here, but the Murmillo going to be a little bit faster than what RecoN has in his army, or what Magic has in his army.
Definitely, and those units go ahead and push further into the middle of the map. However, we do see Magic going back against that wall initially, see if he can create an opening towards that north pocket of his town center. However, there's no villagers or nothing to be gained from breaking this wall early on from the looks of it, so you have to wonder if Magic's time is being spent wisely here.
Yeah, Murmillo getting a little bit of damage on slingers, just picking off the reinforcement. I love this move from RecoN. You know, we can't fight this mass because there's too many axemen there, but let's go look for reinforcements and we see what we can trim down. Bit of idle time looking for a second town center. Yep, just save it up on the resources there, but they might be able to interrupt this. Army is here.
Definitely, RecoN does notice that this sound center is going up, and those units are going to go against those villagers, knocking out one right now, while the main mass of the army is going back towards those villagers to make sure that they're okay. RecoN decides to back away and say he's not going to take the full engage against it. It looks like this third town center is going to be put up, or I'm sorry, second town center. Oh, it is
third town center.
Third
Denied
town center.
a bit of resources by killing the original one, but nothing too impactful. Going to be getting that up. We do see the heroic gauge coming up on the other side through Thea, so pretty much expected there what we've seen from every Gaia player so far. No real hint of a heroic gauge on the other side though, likely staying in classical. We did see Electrum bullets come through for the slingers, so they're going to start doing a lot of damage, and I imagine that Magic is just looking to build up that mass, probably hang in the classical age for a bit.
Yeah, any considerations about how this game might stay out if it does stay in the classical age, guys?
I think it's going to be very difficult for Magic, right? The problem is those slingers, they are very good versus other slingers. They are also extremely good versus inventory with the upgrades. But without the segment upgrade, I don't really think they are great versus Contarius.
Yep.
And Contarius, the horses, is going to be the main unit of RecoN. He is already preparing the barracks, and I would be very surprised if he's going to make anything else but those horses.
Yep, and we already see Poseidon's Secret coming through, so definitely committing to Contarius, and that's going to be really strong to this, especially since we have only Axemen. There are no Spearmen in this army composition, so if we get a decent Contarius mass out, that's going to be really hard to deal with.
Definitely, and Magic is positioning his mass directly towards the initial portion of RecoN's base. However, a few Murmillo are able to get sneak past before the vision was being put into place. You have to wonder if the small units are going to be able to be effective. They do go towards a few units that are being trickling into the main mass here. However, I don't think they're going to be killed just yet.
Ledger is slow, so powerful, but yeah, the Slinger does get out. I do really like this play though. I'll call it out again. RecoN not ready to take a straight up fight, so just looking to pick off reinforcements where he can, because this Slinger mass, this is building up pretty quickly here.
Definitely, and Magic's putting himself in a position to say, hey, if you run it, challenge me for any point of this map or any contention area, I am prepared with this mass. So it's a good response on his part to be able to build in, and the Slingers are going to go ahead and start massing against those Murmillo as they do damage directly towards those units. One does fall, as many more are in danger of falling right behind. The Belligerent are not stopping to heal, and Magic does decide that enough is enough. He took out a couple units, and he's happy with where he's at.
And we've got a nice...
I would like to see RecoN do right now is go instantly for the Mythic Age. Like we already spoke before this game started about the power of Implode. Implode can easily remove the forward position from Magic. And like he has such a big economy, so many units flowing, and those horses, they can raid as well. They don't need to fight, they can raid as well. But it seems like it's going to be all in right now.
Definitely, and these are cavalry go directly into this base where the Mighty Stronghold is being put directly onto that town center as the mass goes down. Calidria is dropped right on the back line of those Egyptian units right now as Magic is caught between two fronts because of that. The units are going to go ahead and start thinning out the Egyptian line. However, it does not look like RecoN has enough units to be able to withstand. The Druids are being pushed back by the Priest-focused attack as Magic takes the first initial trade. It is a win in his column.
Yeah, I'm almost surprised at how dominant of a victory that was. I guess the Citadel providing some support as well, but the Slinger mass is just so big. The Dryad's not enough of a front line, especially with the Priest there to take care of that. It looks like Contarius are going to look for a raid, but that's about all they can do right now. This army size is massive, and I agree. I think we need to see that Mythic Age coming through in order to break this mass. Implode would take care of this super easily.
I'm very surprised RecoN took this fight. It's very unlike him. This guy doesn't like to fight. He just is very patient. So this is very weird. And Magic is in a very commanding spot here. He's in a position to win the game, maybe.
Yeah, looking strong. We'll have to see who goes up to the Mythic first.
Yeah, he's strong, and it looks like the few units that he sacrificed towards that initial match are going to go down while his units work on that initial town center. Going ahead to bring close to the drop, he is not going to be able to complete the buildings in this area where he commits into knocking down this town center with the Scarab. He is going to look then towards what other advantageous situations he can get. Units are trickling towards those citizens that are going on the back end out towards the initial frontal position of RecoN.
Yeah, citizens, I don't think any are going to go down. Looking for a surround. He's trying to get it, but yeah, here's the army. The Contarius will be able to take care of that very easily, but town center destroyed, and it feels like the game is getting more and more in Magic's hands here.
Yeah, Magic is doing a good job showing his class. Yes, Count, you were saying?
Yeah, Magic just took over the middle, and you don't want to give that map control. when he has this amount of army and so many units right now, then there's like nothing you can do. But he also has 4 town centers for his only 2. However,
Definitely. It looks like RecoN is rushing in directly with the cavalry into the back line, and the priests are exposed right now, getting the brute force of this Atlantean cavalry. Finally, Magic goes ahead and goes down, but the Scarab does an immense blast towards the back line, where all these units are taking a massive, true divine damage attack. He is still committed to the fight while the cavalry go ahead and push back towards the front line. However, he knows he cannot win this as they are so low. It looks like Magic takes another fight in his favor.
Yeah, spearmen mixed into the army now. Those Contarias can't deal with it, and the army again, RecoN taking these fights, but he just doesn't have enough to break through this mass. Maybe trying to delay. We do have flood control coming in now for additional farming boost. How many farms do we have out here? Not a huge amount that I'm seeing. I guess there's a couple mixed around inside of there, but I'm kind of waiting to see if either of these players attempt for a mythic. Looks like you're trying to get the town center back, but this isn't going to work. I don't think he can take this army.
And Magic goes in directly with his main mass going against those cavalry right away. He is still being able to unit composition against them while they have not had a chance to kill anything with the Calidria. Those units are being pushed back as that town center is dropped. Those priests are going against the druids directly, pointing and clicking against that front line, not making sure that they're not able to stay in this fight as they're being knocked down. The cavalry is pushing back towards that front line right now, pushing against those spear and axemen right now. However, those priests are getting immense value against any myth or any heroic myth unit that is able to contest. And right now it looks like RecoN is going to head and surrender that mid lane portion as his main frontal force is pushing back towards his base.
Yeah, and despite trying to build up the cavalry mass, it's not enough. It's not enough. This army is so big here. We see a lot of upgrades coming in, but still no hint of a mythic age. And it feels like RecoN is a little bit of a desperate position right now, trying to regain control of the map. What do you guys think? How does he get control back in this game?
Going to be extremely difficult. If you take a good look at the amount of population both players have, we see 180 for RecoN, and then we have 240 for Magic. Yeah, that's going to be very, very tough. When you have less population, and then you have like the super strong units from Set right now, that's going to be a big problem, guys.
Do we expect to see any siege from Magic at this point? He hasn't tried to really pull out any legitimate siege at this point, but he's got the sizable army. I feel like he could do more damage than he is to ReCon's base.
I feel like a few units are looking to push back into the main base to see what type of villager count that they can drop down. These few units are going to go ahead and pressure these citizens as they try to bring up a palace in the backline to defend this gold mine behind the town center. But the palace will come up, but what type of cost will it come to? It looks like at least 2 citizens, if not 3, have fallen already.
Yeah, 2 going down. Palace does get up, and the army's moving back out again. But with this citadel and this stronghold, I don't know. I don't know if this army's gonna be able to do anything outside of pick off a couple villagers.
And Magic is able to catch that quickly as he brings his villagers back to the safety of his 2 strongholds. RecoN is not able to get more than just 1 villager kill on that gold mine, where he's able to reposition those back into a safe place to be able to get those resources again, while that main mass is forming out to answer him once again.
This is cute. We got a dock just to get the Nearad and the Serpent spawn to try and take out things that are near the water. I like that. It's worth the investment, I think.
Oh, it is. And the main mass goes ahead. The druids are in mass going against the front line of the Egyptians. However, the massive priest isolating and picking off the druids one by one is going to do tremendous damage. And we have a tornado dropped in the back line directly against these units, where a massive amount of citizens are dropped right then and there. The town center is going to take immense damage. The tornado does not move back into the army, but it is not needed. Magic cleans up with the tornado present and is able to recontrol the middle of the map once again when RecoN tries to establish some sort of control in the middle of the map.
Yeah, Magic needs to push the advantage right now because we do see the resources stock up for Mythic. There it is. It's coming through. We do have the Implode coming soon. It's inevitable, but can Magic close this game in the next 2 minutes before his entire army gets deleted?
Oh man, and Avengers are starting to take form as they go towards this town center, and an army of hippopotamus or some sort of animal that is a hippopotamus join the front lines of the set player. It's always funny to see in late game how these animals just randomly appear into your mass. It's always a treat.
Siege work coming out in the front, and the fact that Magic feels confident enough to put the siege works right here, right outside the base. This is looking pretty difficult for RecoN to come back from this. Pretty cute. I like this to try and get across the water, get this gold mine. I don't know if Magic is going to find that for a while, but this mass is in his base, looking for the push here, and Siege is going to be following it up very soon.
Definitely, and the main mass is dancing around the front of the base while those siege works are in production of siege units. It looks like we're being put in a good position to start going against RecoN's main forward base. The catapults are going against the temple and the tower first, as that main army is positioning right against those siege units to be able to go ahead and push on to this initial base.
There's absolutely no army count for RecoN now. He was like, okay, I need to stop making Cantarius because the spearmen are eating them up. But now he switches to Marmello, and the slingers have Slings of the Sun with divine damage. So he's gonna eat them up. So RecoN is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
Definitely, and it looks like with this push, he's going to be able to effectively take control of this portion of the northern base, taking down production buildings as well as the initial temple that he had placed down. It looks like the army is pushing in towards that town center as 3 catapults are propelling it down. Priests go directly against those druids.
Oh, he's so patient though. The age up coming up in just 1 second. We're gonna have him implode casted any second here, waiting for that age up to come through before he takes the engage, and there it is. Do we see the immediate implode? Not cast
Age
yet.
up has happened, no cast yet. The armies are trading right at the town center, but the catapults are going to take down this town center as it falls. The main armies are fighting directly, and again, excellent use by Magic's priest to be able to take down all of these myth units directly that are holding the front line together. He is willing to sacrifice this massive units to be able to do more pressure, more damage to his base. A few druids do get onto the back line, however, more reinforcements are trickling in one by one. Will he be able to kill the last of these druids before this Hepatitis tree is able to produce even more that is pressuring it back? He is lacking priests in his unit composition right now and is focusing mainly on slingers and axemen and spearmen. Unfortunately, it looks like those druids are going to overwhelm that front line and cause massive casualties as they are pushed back directly towards those siege works.
Yeah, not enough priest numbers. Dryads doing crazy damage, and you got to stop calling them druids. It is funny, but here's the implode coming in. It maybe seems a little late. This isn't that big of an army here that he's taken out with this, and yeah, there it goes. It took a lot of his own army with it.
Does his army get affected by the implode damage? I don't think they do.
Yeah, they seem fine, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that implode? It seemed like it may have been a lot more effective earlier on in that fight.
Absolutely. One thing to note is that RecoN used a 3rd Hespered tree, which means he can get up to 15 Dryads.
Yeah, that's a big number. Here, a fire breather of some sort. I don't know where it is, but I heard it out there. We do have the water units, the War Turtle and the Leviathan hanging out just outside the base, but I will say, oh, where'd we go? He found it. He found the gold mine.
On the gold mine, he's going directly against this palace as these units are massacring citizens left, right. The siege tower is doing work against this palace as these units are being caught out of place. Oh man, the Man of War is shooting its lightning bolt, but is it enough?
Oh my god. Imagine your Tesla here. Holy.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the nail in the coffin, right? There is still other gold on the map, but that was his main source right now. And we've got Water, Son of Osiris, basically the only thing defending this. The palace is going to go down, and those units can just walk out of there after they finish it. Man, Man of War getting a buff is crazy, though. This unit does seem really good already, especially on these hybrid maps.
Definitely, but the palace does fall, and that gold mine is now secured by Magic. Make sure that it is not going to go in the hands of RecoN. His units are going to back away from these water units that are causing him harass. It looks like he's going to position himself back into the main front of the map, where RecoN is going to be putting up a palace from the looks of it, directly in the center of the map.
I can't believe he's held on this long, to be honest. I mean, he's really holding on this fight. The Dryads are proving very effective. It seems like even though there is a decent priest mass, these things just have enough health, and you can make so many of them for so cheap that he's going to be able to keep spamming them out non-stop. I mean, I don't think he can take this fight, but he's holding on to this game. This game is definitely not over.
Yeah, certainly, Alexu, it is a Water Osiris. Matt called it first. That is the unit name. The Egyptian units are going to go ahead and chase off RecoN's main army as they fight for this palace. The Druid mass is massive, but keep in mind, we do have over 8 priests working against these Druids in the back line right now that have no pressure on Magic's side to take them out, and they're very effective at what they do. As long as this front line holds for Magic, he is able to take out effectively what is the front line for RecoN, and it seems like he is taking complete advantage of this fight, and Magic is declared the victor of Game 2.
Man,
What a performance. Holy. Great game.
this series has been incredible. I mean, both these players pulling out all the tricks. I have to shout out the hilarious comment. I did see that the Man of War did more than implode. I agree. It wasn't maybe the best implode usage that we've seen, but Magic able to clutch out the victory. We've got a Game 3 on our hands.
All right, well, I will leave you guys to break down that game while I go with the players to grant that third game lobby set. We will meet you in the next one.
Yo, let's make this a best of 5 and call it a day, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could do more in a day. Honestly, I think this will be the last time we do a full 8-person tournament in one day, because we've had decently long games, and we've only had the one series. I think that it was just 2 games so far. Everything has gone the full distance, which is better for viewership for sure. We get the exciting matchups, but we may have a pretty late finals today. I guess we'll have to see how semifinals goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, maybe we could have had the finals on a different day, because these games are very intense. The players are very closely leveled here.
Yeah, it honestly might be something I chat with Jay about to see if we can accommodate with the players. The only concern is if we delay it too long to Genesis. I don't want to interfere with those players prepping for that, but it might be a conversation we can have and see how it is. But that was such a good game. Love seeing Set get a victory too.
This is Magic in his element right here. Go ahead, Count.
Yeah, this was a perfect watch. So one of the things I would like to point out when I was watching the game, one of you guys said it as well. He started very late with siege workshops, and I think that actually was very smart. Like in the original game, you want to build a mass, you want to build a siege and push forward, especially versus Atlanteans. However, the strategy Magic went for was like, hey, my god has a better late game than your god does have. So I just tried to hold on early on, build up my economy, and play very, very, very slowly. So right now, Magic is winning this game, and he doesn't have a single siege unit on the field. He's just winning with his core composition, X-Men, Spearmen, and Slingers, just the barracks units. And he's supporting that with a great economy. He has a nice trade, he has good walls, he was always good at defending anything, and like RecoN, he was trying to put pressure everywhere. He was trying to raid, he was picking fights, he was trying to go and make the game. However, Magic was always one step ahead at the defenses, and I think that was just brilliantly played, and also very strategically played by Magic.
To be fair, he doesn't need them. Horus Axemen kill buildings. Slingers kill buildings with burning pitch.
Yeah.
It's just an insanely versatile army.
Exactly. And that's also the weird thing, right? Because it's only barracks units, only classical units, and still he has the best late game with those guys.
Yeah, it is crazy to see. It's almost like there's a bit of a heroic age slump, but then if you make it to Mythic, suddenly you're one of the best late game gods inside of the whole game. It's pretty interesting. I hope we see more Set. I think Magic just showed everyone how strong this god can be.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything you guys want to look at in here? I'm always curious about the villagers. Looks like it kept pretty close the whole time. But total resources gathered. Let's see what they had. Very close.
That's
still.
was important from my point of view. All resources gathered. And it seems like RecoN actually had a better economy until the big push in the middle. Then Magic took over. And I think that was basically the point when he started making
traders. Traders made a huge difference, and I didn't even notice that during the game. So great call out that we had those traders keep supplying the gold. You can kind of see where that started really taking off there.
Yeah.
Oh, I am back now, and first off, I will say shout out to David for your $5 donation to the prize pool. We appreciate your support towards this event. This will go directly towards the players. If you guys are interested in contributing to the prize pool, all donations will be given directly to the players for this tournament and future events. So please donate if you are interested in doing so. We do have our Game 3 matchup, and guys, Guys, is it gonna be a fun
No,
one?
it's the wrong one.
All right. The map. Tundra.
Oh.
Go back to Tundra for game 3.
Okay.
Magic has selected Oranos.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Give it to
And
me.
RecoN has selected dun, 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 Odin.
I'm not surprised about that one, but Oranos
Oh,
Odin.
shit.
What a good matchup.
Odin on Tundra. We have a great game 3 for this last quarterfinal. Before we move on to the semis, guys, tell me I'm not wrong, but we're in store for the greatest matchup, game 3 in this quarterfinal series we've had so far.
You don't understand, man. I have to play versus one of these guys. I'm over here sweating watching this.
I bet you're wishing there were some god bands at this point, huh?
I wish they were playing worse, but they're playing very freaking good, both of them.
Pegasus, I think you need a player ban instead of a god ban this time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yes, and Tundra, it's known to be a very open and aggressive map, and so no surprise to see a Nodin and a runners there. Both gods can play extremely aggressive. It's beautiful to watch those guys face off each other, fighting, raiding, and eventually jump edges. I'm really looking forward for this game.
All right, so they're creating the lobby, right, Jay?
Yeah, they're creating a lobby. We are a little bit behind schedule, but that's okay because we've had some great matchups getting up to this point. The winner of this match will play Pegasus in the next match. We will take a little bit of a break just to give Pegasus a minute to catch himself up, as well as the player who just wins this matchup between Magic and RecoN. But we're in store for a great semifinals either way.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for
Pegasus.
this match.
Before we jump into this next lobby, I have to ask you, Pegasus, is there a player in this matchup that you were worried about yourself?
I'm worried
Or are you
for
just
RecoN.
confident?
I'm worried.
Worried about
Oh,
RecoN?
my games? My games or their games?
Dude, when you play them,
Am I worried about a specific god, you mean?
a specific player, is there somebody who you'd like to
I
play
think he's worried
instead
about
of the other?
both, is what I've been hearing.
Listen. I go back and forth. I mean, I've been thinking about this for the past week, right? Okay, if I beat Count, would I rather play Magic or would I rather play RecoN? And I've been, one day I'm gonna practice for RecoN. The next day I'm like, shit, Magic is in good shape. I should practice for Magic. And I'm very confused here, especially right now. As good as Odin is on Tundra, I bet if we had a face cam on RecoN and then he saw Oranos, he's gonna be like, shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, guys, we do have the lobby formed. We appreciate the commentary. It's going to be really fun. So let's go ahead and get rolling into game 3 of our last quarterfinals before we move into semis. And can I just say shout out to the viewers, man. We've been hanging around 300 viewers for a majority of this cast. You guys are absolutely amazing. Continuing to support the stream, doing donations, joining the Discord. One thing I will say is make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have the option of increasing the prize pool. For every 100 subs during broadcast, we add 50 to the prize pool. We are only 28 subs into our first $50 donated. So make sure if you're watching that you go over to YouTube and
Post
look
that
up
link
Underworld
too.
Showdown. I'll post that link. Make sure you go ahead to Underworld Showdown, subscribe to the channel, and in that you are going to be helping the prize pool for the tournament and letting players make some more money.
All right. So we are ready. You guys ready for game 3?
Game 3.
All right, let's load it up. And then while that's loading, I do see in the chat also that we can't do a poll because we're not an affiliate. We will be an affiliate after this, or I'm going to throw a riot. So we'll see.
If Twitch doesn't want us after this event, I don't know what to say.
All right, well, I'm not doing the intros because those last intros were great. Take it away, guys.
For Magic.
Spawning at the top side of the map in blue, playing Oranos, hailing from Toronto, Canada. He is the one, the only, the undisputed IamMagic, the GOAT of AUM. He packs a punch and he packs a mean one.
Yes. And on the south side of the map.
On the south side of the map, in the red color, he is from England. He was the slayer of Winning Wallace with his longbow. He is RecoN!
RecoN! All right. What an introduction for both of these players for a decisive Game 3. We are so excited to get to this quarterfinal Game 3 match. I can't say I'm disappointed in any way.
Yeah, and great call out on the openness of this map, because that is what we are seeing. I mean, outside of this pool here, there's really nothing for choke points. You know, these bases are pretty open right now. Let's just take a quick look at the relics, because I saw some interesting ones. We've got hero speed available for the players. We've got the small trickle of favor, decent relic there. Villagers regenerate hit points. And our last one, myth units use their special attacks more often. This one's quite interesting because 25% is pretty significant, and there's certain myth units where that's quite good. I don't know if we have a ton of those particular myth units here that have really impactful special attacks. We definitely are expecting the Valkyrie on this side, and then the Caladria probably on the side of Aranos. So Caladria maybe beneficial there, but Valkyrie, you're not really getting much out of that relic.
And to answer a viewer question in this stream, Matt was just talking, who is known as Lowsmith, the founder of the Underworld, Showdown, as well as this whole operation. My name, I'm speaking now, is Jay, and I am Matt's best friend, and I am his co-host. We're just two guys that love Age of Mythology, and we're happy to be here to host events and tournaments like this. So we hope you guys get to see a lot more of us, not just with our own events, but maybe collaborate with other groups and ask some other games for other events too. So we hope you see us around quite a bit.
And just for the record, in case my wife is watching, actually Samantha is my best friend. You're coming to number 2, Jay.
Oh man. All right. I got downgraded by the wife.
Yeah, if she's having a slow day at the ED, then she might be watching. You never know.
Oh man, I'm sure Count understands that. He's married with a kid. You definitely are in the same boat where your best friend has been demoted to the second cast.
Yep.
It's a rough day for all of us best friends out there.
It's always very difficult, and I actually have 2 kids.
Yeah.
So I can't even have a favorite kid right now.
You know what? Before we go into this game, I have a feeling that it's not. Parents have to have a favorite kid. I feel that. There's no way talking about this. We're talking about this on cast for a minute. Parents always have a favorite kid. There's no way. There's no way.
Every kid will be my favorite kid. Yeah, Count. If you...
2 kids, and then we discuss.
Yep.
And then we discuss. Very good. Very good.
Well, Count, you could definitely tell your kids they're both in the top 2, right? So that's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. And talking about kids, by the way, did you guys know that Groom is only 15 years old?
Yes.
He gets younger every time. What?
Yeah.
He gets younger
The
every
young
year.
prodigy. The young prodigy of Age of Mythology.
The
He's gonna be
Benjamin
known
Button
as
of Age of Mythology.
He's the young gun. He is truly a inspiration to a lot of people who want to become a pro in RTS, knowing that like you can be young. You didn't have to pay the original Age of Mythology or AOE 2. You can just be a person who has passion and want to play the game and do it the right way. And while we go back to the game, Magic is going directly towards his second town center, getting that up as soon as he ages with that Sky Passage that he initially put out. So great use of a Sky Passage just to be able to boost up his wait time, not to have to walk towards that.
It is spotted.
Center.
Valkyrie's on the way, but I don't think it's going to get there in time.
And even if it does get spotted, he has the safety of the Sky Passage as Aranos to be able to garrison those units if they are ever under threat or pressure by that Valkyrie.
Oh my god, the Caladria just making the Valkyrie so slow. Pretty rough to see, and going for the Caribou. Just spreading them out.
I think I can safely say that Caladria is definitely the best Olympian god unit at this point.
I think so. I don't know. What do you guys think about Caladria? I put it up there on the high A, maybe S tier.
I think it's super good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at this.
So
I think it's absolutely giga broken.
Well, couple relics picked up. We've got the hero speed and small trickle of favor both picked up by RecoN here. Very nice relics for anyone in the Norse pantheon. Both of those relics really good, so that's going to be helpful for him. Haven't seen the other 2 relics picked up quite yet. I'm curious if this Herser is coming out to... No, we don't have the resources for a second TC, so it looks like we have a 1 TC versus 2, so maybe we expect to see RecoN putting on the early pressure. It doesn't look like he's aiming for a second town center at this point.
It's very interesting situations because most people's problems with Uranus are like, God damn it, I cannot raid this god at all. And now Magic is amplifying this by, okay, I'm gonna go 2TC. What are you gonna do about it? I got sky passages, and RecoN is, he's scratching his head right now. Should I try to raid the unraidable god?
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try. He's got the raiding cap
Or
out.
raiding cavalry going towards this town center. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to spot this out or not. He does not, and he goes to elect to go towards the initial town center to see if there's
Great
any
reactions.
units that are hunting. But IamMagic is just able to point that out very quickly and move them away. His Valkyrie is going to go ahead and kill out some of this other hunt in the north to make sure that that hunt is going to trickle down with decay, so that use of food resource is going to be denied from Magic.
Oh, and the Raven triggering the battle music because it got too close to the town center. I don't think we have a real battle right now. But if we look at the military count, we do see the numbers are growing quite significantly for RecoN. And Magic is keeping just on a few units, couple Hero Murmillo and regular Murmillo, but not a huge army to defend anything. But like we've been talking about, it is so hard to do damage to Uranus's economy.
Definitely, but that Calidris slow on Valkyrie is proving very effective as the Hero Murmillo is getting good damage out. They are not able to catch it out, but they are able to pressure RecoN's army that's raiding back away. RecoN does get the chance to put up his second town center in response. However, it is a little late compared to Magic,
look at the villager
who's
count.
already growing.
Yeah,
He's already
14
growing
lead.
a massive lead.
That is even larger of a lead than I expected at this point with how long that TC has been up, but that is very significant, and I think the pressure is on for RecoN. He's got to find a way to do significant damage soon, or this game's going to get out of his hands really quickly.
I think the best opportunity for RecoN is fight for the second gold mine. Because all of the second gold mines for Magic, they are pretty forward. Yes, there, and both are pretty raidable actually. So if RecoN is a good heroic timing with the Njord and the Walking Woods, then he can definitely take a good fight for a second gold mine.
Yeah, and he's well aware with the Ravens and scouting that those are the only options. So that's a great call out. That's got to be what he's focusing on to try and win this game. And I think that's really his win condition. If he can't deny this gold, he's going to be in a lot of pain.
You gotta remember, if he wants to go for that second gold fight, Shockwave, Carnivora, and maybe even Chaos.
Yeah, Chaos still one of the absolute best god powers in my opinion.
And honestly, not just that, but even Carnivoria has proven to be very effective to be able to just isolate units in the middle of a fight and cause issues, especially when Shockwave can knock them back into the Carnivoria to be eaten directly. Magic is going ahead and just knocking onto RecoN's base with some of his initial Murmillo, causing some damage towards his initial Longhouse, or Great Hall, I should say.
Couple throwing axemen, but the number is definitely not big enough to really take this fight with the Caladria hovering above. Raiding Cav coming out here. Sky Passage maybe not going to get up in... Oh, actually it gets up right in time. Man, Uranus is something else.
Uranus is such a safe god.
As well.
Still looking. I mean, denying some hunt, but yeah, again, the gold mine definitely the priority. And Murmillo, I mean, I love Murmillo. These units are just good for everything. Got the Bite of the Shark as well. Or actually, no, we don't have Bite of the Shark because we went for Carnivoria, so no Bite of the Shark, don't have that bonus. Does Uranus even have access to that? Does he get the Serpents, or is that just Gaia? That's just Gaia Kronos, isn't it?
Bite of the Shark is, Oceanus for Uranus and for Gaia.
Oh, so we did have the option, just opted out of it, and nice Shockwave to pick off a couple of the raiding cav with the Caladria slow, so picking off a couple of units.
It's not bad.
Yeah, not a bad use. Definitely not the greatest, but not the worst. He is able to take out a few of those units, but now his Murmillo are going to go directly against these gatherers who are going to be caught out of space. Let's see if he's able to take advantage, and he is not. He does decide to pull back. Magic says, hey, I have a mass here threatening you. I'll cause some idle time. Maybe I'm not ready to take the full engage just yet.
Yeah, mixing in the Catapultes too, so that's going to be really nice to take on the raiding cav, but it doesn't look like RecoN is emphasizing raiding cavalry. He's got a pretty balanced army here, a lot of counter infantry, which is exactly what he needs. I actually think this fight would be quite good if he took it.
And he decides that he's going to dance around it once again as RecoN's units are going to be able to chase down Magic. Magic does go ahead and forward against it with 3 Caladria in the back line to be able to provide slows and heals. However, there is no additional full-on assault just yet. The units of Magic are pushing back towards the back end, and they decide now is the time to get the slows, give me some space to be able to get away from this fight, and let me amass some more units before I take this.
And critically, medium infantry just came through, so those Axemen and Hearst are both much stronger now. I think that fight might have been closer before that because we already had medium Murmillo. But at this point, with these Axemen numbers, we need to see a different unit composition coming out of RecoN, or out of Magic.
Definitely.
Mixing in the Terma, perfect. That's what we're looking for to try and take out those throwing Axemen. If he can get a nice healthy Terma mass, I think he can take this fight. Pretty tense game though, really. No player fully committing to anything. We're both on 2 TC at this point. No one looking for a third town center. We do start to see heroic ages coming up, so Hyperion coming through. We will have the Chaos, and with this many counter infantry units, that Chaos could be absolutely devastating when he hits that.
Definitely, RecoN's mass is going directly into the base of Magic right now, but he does not know that RecoN's army, Magic army, is chasing the back end, and they do get a catch out on the Frost Giant that was attempting to reinforce it. Terma are getting initial pick damage, and yet there is no full commit or engage from either player just yet. Force Fire is dropped on the side just to be a nuisance on the other side of that engagement. Magic is caught out of place here, and he is just pushing back with the Terma to be able to create a little wall. They do see that there are some so far from his base, and there are villagers and gatherers on the side, but he does not choose to engage on them just because he does not want to take this fight just fully yet. I wonder if this is the point in which he will go ahead and re-engage, or if he's waiting for that timer. His age up is going to be happening any moment now, where Chaos will be available to him. He is waiting and praying that he does not get caught out fully until that Chaos comes through, and the Chaos is available. Let's see if he uses it.
Yeah, at a certain point you have to turn and fight this, otherwise you're just losing units for free, waiting for the reinforcements maybe. I'm surprised we didn't see the re-engage and Chaos casted on the throwing Axeman, because you could delete a lot of the army with that, but he's being very patient here. Magic just saying, unless I'm sure I'm gonna win this fight, I don't want to take it.
Definitely, and his unit mass is behind safe lines now, making sure that there's no further aggression from RecoN, but no use of any of those god powers that are available to him. Makes me think that he's not prepared or ready yet for that fight. He is drawing some of these cavalry towards him, these raiding cavalry, to be able to pick them off one by one, but effectively he's not going to be able to do much more than just pick off a few units until he decides to use those god powers.
Really great micro on the Terma, not getting hit once, just constantly poking back and forth, considering taking the full engage with Murmillo. There comes heavy Murmillo, heavy infantry, and we still have the medium Terma, so probably looking for that soon. We see heavy infantry on the other side being researched as well, but just kind of toying back and forth with the idea of an engagement, mostly just poking each other's armies. And that villager count looking great.
I think this is what's gonna happen. You can Chaos to force Frost, and Frost, and after that maybe you can use the Shockwave in the Carnivora to win the fight decisively.
Yeah, it can be a lot of god powers cast at once. Picks off at least one villager, but the rest safely inside the Sky Passage network, popping out somewhere else, wherever they may go. Markets up. Raven does see the markets there. No trading or anything at this point. And we do see that third town center now getting built, and a lot more infrastructure coming down. Thundering Hooves being researched. Maybe a little late on that research, but favor is also constrained for the North, so it probably didn't have an opportunity. Wanted to get Frost Giants out ahead of time. And we do have ballistics coming in quickly for the Terma. Going to be doing a lot more damage once that comes through. And it looks like, I'll have to check, we're having a bit of a Satyr mass being built up over here. Got a couple mixed in with the army.
The raiding cavalry go directly into the main line of Magic. However, Magic is prepared and able to knock down a considerable chunk of that army right away. He will get away with the majority of his mass. However, he did knock off 5 of those raiding cavalry right off the bat.
Oh, here it comes. It's building up.
And here it comes. The army goes in, and the infantry go directly as the shockwave is placed on the back end of the entire mass of RecoN, displacing his army, as the Truma are completely able to work freely with the Stayer, pinning and isolating those myth units. Frost is dropped on top of the entire army as they are frozen in place. We have RecoN having free reign. However, keep in mind, with Frost, he's not going to get any immense damage out. He's still keeping that army on top of them, taking out the Caligari, who are not affected by Frost, removing the utility from the fight. And now we have to play a waiting game. Is RecoN going to be able to just stay here on top of this mass and wait till this Frost is being put out, or is he going to dig deeper?
Yeah, I'm curious. You know, I really look at how RecoN is positioning his units. It's really hard to get a good chaos when the units are this spread out, intentionally moving or throwing X-Men around, and I'm wondering if Magic might have missed his window for a really impactful chaos cast. We'll see what happens right after the Frost ends in 5 seconds here.
Yeah, Frost is about to get caught off cast right now, but the majority of Magic's army is intact in the center, and they're going to fight through there. Chaos is cast to the left-hand side of the main mass as they go against one another, while the Truma are working against those infantry units directly right now, countering them significantly. However, but it is not enough. They're getting picked off one by one as Magic is pulling away. That Frost did work its wonders as Magic is on the retreat.
Yeah, he's got to retreat from this. He doesn't have the army. He doesn't have any front line anymore, really. He's got mostly Arcus and just a couple Murmillo in the front. Here come the reinforcements, so now he feels ready to take that engage. But nice fight by RecoN. And with the 3 town centers now or actually, no, we have 4 for RecoN. He's taken the last one, so it's not 3-3. He's getting the town center lead. He has map control. He's got the army. Army size pretty similar, but it just feels like ReCon's mass is much stronger.
Yeah, we take a look at the gold mine, guys. How much gold is left for Magic? Because he has only 1 gold mine.
He's looking for another.
On the other side, how much is left?
Only 1,500 at this point. He's running pretty low, and he's planning on coming out here, but ReCon's already in the area, and this gold mine is not easy to get. This one, maybe you can try and get position on, but yeah, gold is going to be a very big problem very soon.
Yeah, until you invest resources into palaces or something to be able to defend these gold mines, Magic might be crunched on gold here pretty soon. Effectively, has no trade network established either, so he will be pressured by that lack of gold income.
I wonder why this Frost Giant is so much darker than the others. It's interesting.
Maybe it's because he was the first. He's the master of Frost Giants.
I don't know. We do see it's not Jotun, but the other upgrade for Frost Giants specifically coming through. So we do have those stronger Frost Giants. Just looking around, looks like he realized now that this gold is already occupied. So pulling the army over because he does need to secure a gold mine somewhere. We're down to just 1,000 left in the gold mine there. Trying to get a palace up. Dwarves getting the shivs out to try and take down that palace. But here come the Murmillo. These dwarves are going to be in big trouble.
Definitely, these units go ahead and just jump on it. He converts them into berserk in attempts to fight against this palace coming up, but the main mass is just going to rip through them. The palace is going to be at a very low HP, but effectively, Magic has secured the gold that he needed to be able to scale.
And what's the response? We see raid on this gold mine actually quite successful. At least 3 citizens go down. Skypash is going to go down as well. I'm assuming the citizens are out the network. They moved somewhere else, but nice little raid, denying the gold. And we did somewhat secure this gold here, but I don't know if that half health palace is going to be enough to really keep that safe when we've got this big army looking around right now.
Definitely, he's going to unsecure those villagers that are currently in the Sky Network up there, be able to secure that gold mine. But the mass that ReCon has established already is going to be very challenging for Magic to overcome.
Yeah, we see Mythic Age coming through too. We have Helios coming out soon, so we'll see if that's going to make a big impact. But this mass, you still got almost 2 full minutes until your Mythic Age comes through, and this mass is absolutely incredible. Like, I feel like you could take this fight and keep pushing in the base and cause significant damage here, but
he does decide that he's going to take the fight. He does take the fight. The Arcus are in the back line, being able to thin out these units a little bit, but with those Frost Giants being able to be tanky and effectively going in, the Shockwave goes in to disperse the entire army in the back, while the front line is going solely against the whole mass. It does not look like it's enough, however, as Magic is being pushed further and further back into his base. ReCon is pushing in. Will ReCon be able to push in to take game 3 and punch his way into the semifinals? We will find out very soon if this is enough or not for him.
Yeah, but the Arcus numbers are really quite strong here, and being able to kite back in the base, doing significant damage. The only thing is there's not enough hero Arcus. They're not doing any damage to the Frost Giants. They can only do damage to the infantry on the other side. So I think we need to mix in some hero Arcus there or other hero units to deal with these Frost Giants, because I don't think a single one dropped in that engage. Raid's coming back out to the gold. He recognizes the win condition. ReCon knows if he can deny this gold, there's no options left. Only a Soul Destroyer. Never mind, we got the Sky Passage in there.
The army was ready, and the Sky Passage was able to check him out through the palace, where they do a quick garrison, knocking those raiding cavalry back away from the gold. Wow, Magic secures his gold. This is a fantastic move on his part.
That was so cute too. I wish I could get that in slow-mo, because we got Sky Passage to garrison to palace to out on this side to get the extra range for the Arcus. That was just really well done. Really fast decision making to get the best out of that play.
Definitely, but the mass.
A lot of heroes now. He just upgraded almost all of them, but we've got a Vortex. Where did they go? Where do they go? Here they are. Vortex moves the whole army over. Gonna take out a ton of these dwarfs. Very nice move.
Vortex goes in directly into the back line of the gold, being able to knock all these dwarves away. These units are deciding to chase them out. However, on the back end, RecoN is going towards that palace initially, while his villagers are going directly into the sky passage into safety. This palace is inevitably going to be falling. However, what is the trade-off? What is Magic getting on the back end? He's taking out a hill fort in the north, but is that going to be enough of an equal trade to lose out on his only secure gold mine that he had initially?
Yeah, no gold, and now we have Tyre coming through, and I think this in this example, this is going to be a game-ending Mythic Age here. Magic running out of gold, trying to secure this area. We do have the Gatherers here, but even securing this gold, there's only about 700 left on it, so does it really even matter that much?
Yeah, I mean, 700 is going to be pretty tight to be able to work with. I mean, at this point, I have to ask Count and Pegasus, what do you think you have to do as Magic to be able to get a rehold, not just on gold, but in general against these masses that RecoN's putting out there?
It's gonna come down to one last fight, I think, and RecoN's army is frightening. You got 260 pop right now.
Yeah, I mean, Fimbulwinter is going to be pretty effective here. I think that's gonna help close this game out, because you've got Hero Arcus, but if these get cleaned up right now, there's not going to be anything to defend that Fimbulwinter.
Thing is, RecoN's army is made of everything. You got Myth units, throwing X-Men, Raiders, Heroes. There is not one single unit you can make to counter his mess. And that's going to be very difficult because he has so much more population than Magic does.
Yeah, way more population. Less villagers still, but that doesn't really seem to matter so much because the military is just so much stronger. Wow, look at this mass. This is huge. The Son of Man is trying to do some damage, but that's going to go down quickly. We see another Vortex. Where do they go? Anyone see him? Back over to this gold mine, trying to get him back. It's going to do pretty significant damage. You gotta think Fimbulwinter is going to be cast any second here, and that's going to do huge damage. And this gold is secured again, but there's no gatherers nearby, and with just Arcus, that can do a lot of damage, and there's the Fimbulwinter cast.
Fimbulwinter's dropped!
Yeah, so this is going to do incredible damage. Especially
incredible damage over these town centers. And oh my god, it's... I hate Fimbulwinter. I hate it so much.
It's feeling pretty doomed from my perspective. I feel like RecoN has a very solid grasp on this game. Fimbulwinter not going to take out any buildings, but idling out an already struggling economy. I don't know how Magic is able to come back from this one, but we know Magic. He's going to fight till the bitter end.
Definitely, Magic does have an advantage on the economic side, where his units are outnumbering him from 100 to 72 compared to RecoN's. However, this Fimbulwinter is putting a deeper pause onto his economy as units from RecoN are going ahead and taking out additional town centers and bases of of Magic. Magic is going to have to put something together here really shortly to be able to answer this.
I mean, look at this map control. I mean, this just isn't even close. The map control that you have as RecoN versus Magic, he doesn't have anything. There's no resources for him to gather. Maybe we needed to look for a different unit comp, but at this point, I agree. There's no correct unit to take on this mass. It's just way too big, way too strong.
Yeah, and you know, I have to say, regardless of who wins this match, you have to think that this quarterfinal was absolutely delivering on every expectation we had, knowing that RecoN and Magic were two storied legends of the game playing. He is going to BM and go ahead and build that town center and directly use it to get his units out of the fight while the town center is up. Oh man, the macro on this game has been quite an joy to watch.
I don't think that town center was BM. I think what would be BM right now is to build a wonder, because I feel like RecoN could confidently stack up the resources if you wanted.
Wonder.
No, I don't want to see a wonder. Go ahead.
Man, especially now with Fimbulwinter available. Man, is that annoying when someone with Fimbulwinter gets Wonder Age and they're casting it every 5 seconds.
Worst feeling in the world. Let me tell you, I just had that happen in a rank game the other day.
Yeah.
This is Magic's villain arc, is what one of the comments in the chat. Magic, yeah, you know what, Magic. Oh, Magic. You know what? Come back and win this game, Magic. You can do this. You can do this.
At this point, I'm
Raiding
rooting for him
Cavalry.
because it just seems like such an insurmountable feat, right? Like, how do you possibly come back from this game?
And Raiding Cavalry going directly into that Argus backline where he does not have any front line to be able to defend them. They're going to wipe out those units left and right. Throwing Axeman clean out any villagers that were in the nearby area and fly anymore. Chaos is put into the backline where those units are going to attack one another, and it does thin the line quite a bit, actually, providing a little bit of a breathing line for Magic. However, is it too little, too late at this point? Because right now, he's effectively working with very little army, and RecoN takes the win.
Nice win. I think we saw it coming for a while, but really nice game from RecoN. Just had control the whole time. There were some fancy moves with the sky passages and the vortex, but at the end of the day, RecoN had a firm grasp on that game the whole time.
Any comments from
game.
Gowns and Pegasus?
Both players played very, very, very well. It could have gone either way. I have to prepare myself mentally now to play versus RecoN. So go ahead, Count, take it away.
Good luck, Pegasus. Thanks for joining in.
Pegasus, thank you
very
for joining the
much.
cast. We're going to go ahead and give you like a 5-10 minute breather while you've been on cast to be able to prep yourself. And then you and RecoN will be the next matchup.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Count, any thoughts?
Yeah, so one of the things I want to point out is that once again, this game is so calculated from both players. Like the way they dance around each other with those armies, it's so intense to watch and so beautiful to watch. Like they hit with the archers, then they pull back again, they move forward again, and they go back again. And like it's even tiring to watch, exhausting to watch as an observer. Now imagine being the player, like moving your army at least twice a second, and then also managing your economy. To be able to do that 3 times in a row for like 40 minutes, it's insane. Those guys are extremely talented, and they gave us a huge show.